Okay, back in regular session. Um, Last item is other business. Uh, Got one thing real quick to discuss. The wellness group, the pot plant out here, is trying to get their property taxes reduced. Um, Back when they filed their building permits, I don't remember the exact figures, but they were saying it was worth $10 million or whatever. Just as an example, now they're saying it's worth $5 million. They want to reduce their property taxes. They had a appraisal done supposedly by somebody that says that it's worth a whole lot less, like, what is it, half, Angie, that they're.
So we have it right now with the EAV at 7.2 million, which would equate, if that's confirmed, to $21.6 million. So we say their facility is worth 41.6 million. Their appraiser came back and said it's worth 12.1. So they say we've got it over appraised by $9.5 million. And they've asked for it to be reduced down. And so because it's so significant, the assessor had to notify all the taxing bodies. And I sent this information to you guys in an email, but I thought it was in the best interest, and I talked to Max about it, for us to pay for our own appraisal. Yeah. Even though it's gonna cost us some money, it's gonna save us money.
We could go before the board of review with them and argue the point and win or lose. There's no guarantee that even though we hire an appraiser, that we'll win or lose. But according to the assessor, our chances are a lot better. Now, this appraiser could come back at what they say, and they don't know. I don't think so, but that's our only other option as far as hiring an outside industrial appraiser and get a new appraisal made in our behalf. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money to a lot of different places here. What do you say the high school will lose? $60,000?
$60,000.
You know, I mean, that's a job. Not to mention what we would lose, the city of Anna. We've reached out to the city of Anna to see if they won't share the expense on the industrial appraiser. It's going to mean more to them than it is to us since we're in the city limits now. But I just feel like that we should fight this. They've jacked us around forever out there on different stuff and then annexed into the city of Anna. So
it's probably I think about a $250,000 decrease in taxes overall. 250,000, but 60,000 goes just to the high school. So the high school in itself will lose $60,000 if they do program for this funds. Now, Tammy said, best thing obviously for us to do the appraisal, which we're going to have done, and then we would go to the board of review, and she said the board of review will look at their appraisal, they'll look at our appraisal. They could decide to go with ours, they could decide to go with theirs, they could agree to go with them. They can negotiate. Now, if whatever the board of review says, if wellness group is not happy with that, they can appeal it. And they appeal it to, it's a state of Illinois agency called PTAB, Property Tax Assessment Board, maybe. But they appeal it to PTAB. And then PTAB looks at everything and they make the final decision. And whatever they say is what we have to do. So if they say it should be lowered, we have to lower it. I don't know if this company would take it that far, or
I think they
would.
I think they will.
Yeah, no, I think that.
But again, I believe that there's a situation that needs to be discussed. I look at the assessments of Grand Town. It's not necessarily what it's appraised, particularly at. Yeah, it's such a limited structure in Southern Illinois.
Well, that's what their appraiser is saying. He's saying that, so what in his appraisal, one of his biggest points was that the state of Illinois has a limit on the number of licenses that they will give for growing places. So what their conclusion is, they're trying to say that if they left, no grower could get another license to come in there, so the building would be useless to another grower. So you just have these buildings. So he says, we're assessing them as if what they're being used for now, but if they leave, they'll never be able to be used for that. I don't buy that.
They can't go anywhere.
I don't buy that. That building is set up to grow a lot of marijuana. You're not telling me if they decide to leave that another company can't get a license in.
But if they can't leave, I think because there is a limited number of licenses, so
No, they're saying if they just leave, like close shop,
close shop.
that we wouldn't be able to, there wouldn't be anybody that could go in that building.
How many people are employed out there now, you know?
No idea.
Between 300 and 400 last time.
300.
But if they move, go anywhere up north, or up north, the property taxes won't be higher.
But they can't move.
Not really, see, I agree with that, but just theoretically,
Yeah.
huh?
That license is only for Union
Yeah.
County.
For the southern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for this zone, yeah. I'd say go for it.
So I've reached out to appraiser guy, I think is Ron Reader. I don't know if anybody knows him. But, and he is who the city of Banff uses. So when I contacted Dory to see if they would split the cost with us, we had a cost estimate that Tammy gave us, which was around 12 to 15,000, I think it was, for the appraisal. When I asked Anna to split it with us, Dory said, why don't you call the appraiser we use and see what he would charge? So I did, and he's turning us $3,500. So it's a whole lot cheaper.
Use the city appraiser.
Are they gonna split it with?
She didn't say whether they're gonna split it with us now. I mean, and I could ask her to split it with her, but I'm not as concerned as us paying $3,500 as I didn't want to pay $15,000. So she kind of like saved us that
That's who they use.
$12,000.
Oh, the reader's the one the city
Yeah.
uses? Oh, okay, okay.
Basically.
You know, I will say this. What year did they open up out there?
Just a city.
16?
It's 2016, something like that.
What are you talking about?
What year did they open out there? I know, from a business aspect, when they opened business, the competition was a lot different than what it is now because of all these other states now coming online. Kentucky and Missouri and everybody. At that particular time, when they first started, they didn't have that much competition. So I can see where it's a highly competitive business.
It may not be as much as you think, because they continue to expand and build more buildings, so it's obvious they're selling more.
Yeah,
So
to some people.
I think it's a conflict or anything else.
Anything else?
You good with that?
Go ahead, Dave.
well, I just want to make sure that we follow up with Mayor Group, this hack that Iran did of the Stryker Corporation, which is what our beds are now. Stryker is much bigger than just providing ambulance beds nationwide. But this hack, according to my son, who's big in the IT world nation globally, is huge. And it's found a flaw in Microsoft's products. And everybody in the world is scrambling, and the press hasn't picked it up quite as much as it's significant. We need to make sure their group is on top of it, the best they can, consider the environment. Tom kind of explained it to me is, all your systems are on microfiche. Okay, they're stored on site, but if this building was burned, then, okay, we've got the data stored somewhere else. If all the microfiche readers or our institution are destroyed, there's none anywhere else. And Stryker's really struggling now because of the CR courthouse.
At least you gotta be able to talk to them and every other IT company that comes into the bid on our IT. Or do you,
One other thing, Angie, I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess I'm kind of in the dark on this. What is our policy on entering the courthouse with a mask? Not a medical mask, but one to hide a person's identity. Have we got a policy on that?
You'd have to ask Sheriff about that.
I doubt we have a problem. I don't think we have a problem.
That'd be the bogus call, like, on that front desk.
You know, I just wonder. That'd be interesting, even if somebody had a mask in their pocket and they come through and then they could put the mask on out here.
We've had it. Not too long. So I don't disagree with you that there should be a policy, but as far as I know.
Can we check on that, Max? Some kind of a policy for that?
I
Maybe
think
put a-
federal buildings have a policy that you cannot have a.
You have to hide your identity, because there is a difference between the flu and hiding one's identity, you know. I mean, that's the whole purpose of having your license plate on your car when you're in public.
Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Fix,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Erstat,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.